Mr. Diaz-Balart.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, gentlemen, and more importantly, the folks that you lead. The federal government does a lot of important things, but nothing more important than what you all deal with. Let me get back to this hemisphere. I'm very, very grateful that the administration is finally really focused on the Western Hemisphere, and it's actually going to show. We're going to be able to show that it's saving American lives. But let me just. And to you, Mr. Secretary, let me throw a couple of points and see if you disagree with any of these. And let me talk about the one state sponsor of terrorism in the Western Hemisphere, which is the Cuban regime. Are you aware that they harbor terrorists and U.S. Fugitives from U.S. law? And we can just go through these really quick.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, I
Is it true that the Cuban regime actually shot down 2 American airplanes in international airspace, murdering Americans?
I can't recall the precise year, but I believe that is the case.
Is it true that that Russian spy ships and warships, including the nuclear sub Kazan, have repeatedly used Cuban ports?
That is true, Congressman.
Is it true that the site of the Russian Signet complex in Lourdes has once again become a hub for Russian intelligence within Cuba?
Well, we've long been concerned that a foreign adversary using that kind of location that close to our shores is highly problematic, yes.
And is it also true that now the Chinese also are there?
I wouldn't want to reveal anything that should be classified, but we don't want foreign adversaries attempting to use that island.
Well stated. Are you aware that, well, you're obviously aware that Cubans, intel people and military folks have been sent around the world because your folks confronted them in Venezuela. But are you also aware that according to Ukrainian intelligence, there are thousands of Cubans fighting for Russia in Ukraine?
I was not aware of that particular fact, but I am well aware that Cubans have been around the globe to include attempting to defend Maduro in Venezuela. So that is something they've done for a long time, yes.
You're also aware, Mr. Secretary, that, well, even stated by U.S. intelligence, even during the Biden administration, the Trump administration, the previous administration, the Obama administration, that Cuba has been designated as one of the 4 most advanced espionage operations against the United States, and that they share intel with other adversaries of the United States.
That all very much sounds right, sir.
And again, we're not in a classified setting. So I'm just considering all those issues and others that we could talk about in a classified setting. Do you believe that the Cuban regime possesses a national security threat to the United States?
I do.
Let me now focus on Iran, as I have a little bit of time left over. Mr. Secretary, you've been very clear what the goal is. But the goal that you're saying is not the goal that just this administration has had vis-a-vis Iran. It's been the goal of multiple presidents of the United States, right? Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. But I'd like to also ask you about Iran's offensive ballistic missiles and their offensive drones and their use of terrorism. Are those also issues that would be factors in a negotiated settlement with Iran? Because I don't have to tell you that there have been negotiations ad nauseum with Iran. The Iranians continue to cut deals, and yet they violate those deals. But it's interesting, in the nuclear deal that was cut with Iran during the Obama administration, missiles weren't even in part of that deal. As horrible as the deal was dealing with the nuclear issue, nor was terrorism. And I'm just hoping that those 2 issues, not only the nuclear deal, which is paramount, but offensive ballistic weapons, missiles, and we saw one that now has a capability of traveling rather far, and also their spread of terrorism. I hope that those also would be factors in any resolution to this issue in Iran, with Iran.
Well, sir, we're not the negotiating team, but I can tell you we have world-class negotiators. The core of it is the nuclear weapons issue. Those other factors are always a factor. Understanding that Iran has effectively tried to use the North Korea strategy with such overwhelming capabilities conventionally that no one would dare prevent them from pursuing a nuclear weapon. And it took President Trump to have the courage to make that historic decision. And hopefully we can get that across the finish line with negotiations, which are ongoing right now.
Mr. Chairman, my time is up. I yield back. Thank you, sir.